Morning there, gentlemen. Back at you. Just wanted to show you something
Contributor Brett Velikovich. He joins us now. And Brett, I know Carly has prepared extensively for this segment, so I'm going to let her take it from here.
That's right. Yeah, good morning, Brett. So we want to talk to you about drones because we just showed some LA riot footage where it was a drone that was displaying that footage, called a Predator drone. And not surprisingly, the people who are supporting these riots are saying those drones usually fly during military combat. Now they're flying over LA riots. How dare they fly on U.S. soil? So what is your reaction to that criticism?
Well, hey, first, good morning, and thanks for having me on the show again. It's great to see you guys. And look, these are not armed drones with Hellfire missiles that are long.
Like he said, yeah, they're not armed. They're just watching. They're unarmed or unmanned aerial vehicles or whatever. But they're upset every time they have a little technology boost. You notice they're bringing out face masks and these stupid little riot gear so they can go attack cars and pretend to be tough guys, and they're all soy boys. I mean, real men that earn a living, they're at work and are sleeping. And these guys, it's a total joke. But they start upping their game, but and then so the officers obviously their game, they step up their technology and their skills, and now they start complaining because they have UAVs, baby. UAVs. That's like in Call of Duty, you have the bird, the eye in the sky, uh, over the entire city, over the everything. That means these riots, they're a thing of the past, gentlemen. They're a thing of the past. This isn't gonna. I mean, obviously, we want to. Of course, we need to be able to peacefully protest, but these riots, I think this is a thing of the past because these UAVs. Let me turn it down a little bit here. This first I'm not really done. Oops.
Off of them or ready to fire at protesters. So don't worry. They're really there to provide this sort of insight into criminal activity, capture footage of protests, feed intel to the local authorities. You have these large, massive groups of people popping up in areas around LA quickly, and that's something that law enforcement needs to get ahead of. And CBP,
they know what these people are doing. They don't have to be there. They know exactly where they're at, exactly how many of them there are.
Typically, they're flying along the southern border of Mexico looking for drug cartel activity. They're used for more
what they're trying to do.
Operations, but every once in a while they get tasked for domestic operations. And these things, they sit very, very high
for rapid response. You can get the guys to where they need to be. Not only that, but think of, I've heard that technology that can spot people just by their gait. It doesn't need a picture of their face. It can spot by everybody has a unique gait, how we walk, and it can spot people by their gait. So with this footage here, no wonder they snapped up, or they've already snapped up some of these guys. That guy throwing the bricks and stuff. No wonder you're on candid camera, dipstick. You're on candid camera, and they don't have to cut. They don't have to arrest you on site. They're gonna come rouse you out of bed and come take you to prison there, take you to jail there, and it's awesome because like this footage with AI, they'll know every single name of every single person on the street. I mean, instantly. If they have AI, scanning this stuff as it comes in live, they will know exactly who it is that they're dealing with and who are are they criminals? Um, do we need to proceed carefully, or are these just peaceful grandmas, And I think, thank God, like finally they're busting out these badass Predator drones that they use to fly over battlefields because you can run but you can't hide now. It ain't like a helicopter where they can hear it coming and they know where it's at. They've had these drones on them the whole time, guys, and they're pissed off now because they're starting to see the footage and they're starting to realize, oh wow, we've been on candid camera this whole time. We're all going to prison. You know, every one of us. Every one of us that showed up to that riot to cause some trouble, we're going to prison. And you already know that's exactly what's going on. Like everybody was wondering how the heck does Pam Bondi already know who it is they need, you know, when it's literally just happened. Well, now we know. This is great because these rioters, they've become very sophisticated. We all know this. They're funded by out like these NGOs, these millionaires, billionaires. They're funded by these people, and they start like this one that's going on Saturday. They're gonna have to think twice about this, and I can't wait to watch it live. I might do a live stream, but they're going to have another thing coming because they're going to have one of these drones over every single city this happens in. They're just going to put a drone up in the air. This thing has probably got, a million it's probably, got like the pixels of an eagle's eye, which is millions and millions and millions. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of pixels that are in an eagle's eye. It's like 100,000 to one compared to humans. I mean, they can see a mouse from a mile up. And that's what these drones do. And they give them, it's like a 360, it's almost like one of those 360-degree cameras where you don't just get a picture, you get a whole point of view, and you can go after the fact and see what people have done, from that camera. You can focus on a certain position. I mean, this is fantastic. These people are going to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. This is just going to be a thing of the past. They're not going to have to go out in riot gear with stupid fire hoses. Nobody is going to go out. Mask or no, nobody is going to go out if they know that their gate is going to be snapped on camera and they're going to be able to be prosecuted because of that. Nope, no, this is over. It's over. They won, finally. I mean, because you can't fool the AI, you can't fool the gate. And it's time that they got a taste of what those poor people in the January 6th situation got a taste of. It's time that these people get a random knock on their door. It's time that these people get rounded up, hunted down for the dogs that they are, and forced to pay the forced to face the consequences of their actions, however heinous they may be. And if they're not heinous, like last night, nothing really happened in LA because all of a sudden the police got serious. Nobody wanted to mess with that. When those police officers aren't backing down anymore, those people, they don't want any, they're a bunch of pussies. They're a bunch of pussies and they don't want to fight with those guys. They don't want to fight with them. And if those guys, if their job is just to stand guard for a building, they stand guard, and these pussy ass protesters, all they can do is try to provoke them, and they never do provoke them because it's not worth it, and they're just showing their own asses. And I'm really glad to see the government really getting with the program here, not being flat-footed, not being some stupid flat-foot cop type stereotype, but being a real cutting edge, you know, uh, force. I mean, truly, because what's funny is in old movies with police, like White Heat with James Cagney, they go out of their way to show that police are using all these new techniques to track and trace people that are using ways of tailing people, following people without being discovered. I mean, to really kind of dispel the whole flat-foot notion, the whole flat-foot stereotype. But I think that's what they're doing now, and it seems that they're using it to good effect because the whole UAVs, those manned aerial vehicles over a city, just like they're over battlefields, over combat zones. This is a game changer. It's a game changer. It's a total game changer. And since they can document these people's gait, they can cross-reference whether or not these people are showing up to multiple events, to multiple riots and protests. Suppose if they do go to them. But this is great news as far as I'm concerned. I'm super psyched about it.